and you're known for like just spitting out wild shit, like more complicated than anybody else can say and think. I mean, so you have that, massively creative brain that, I would assume most rappers wish they could do what you can do. That type of brain.
Is well, the process, man, to get to the point of writing, writing songs, writing lyrics, raps, singer-songwriter songs, whatever it is. With me started with just gibberish, like just I wish I still had this collection of notebooks. I lost a large portion of my childhood that I had. I mean, I'm talking about from books to boom boxes, all the even old stuffed animals, old blankets, and that. We lost it in a storage unit that didn't get paid for. But I had a stack of notebooks literally up to my waist, and every single page was front and back full of lyrics. And most of it is just like, it's like shadow boxing. It's just the practice of writing, rhyming, and figuring out how to not just be skillful as a rapper, or an artist in general, but what that looked like and what it should sound like was the biggest challenge. Like when it clicked that, oh, I'm a white boy from a trailer park in Huntsville, Alabama, and I bumped 3 6 Mafia and Metallica and Hank Williams. Oh my God, Catfish Billy. Like, oh shit. It started, what I'm going to talk about, how I'm going to bring my culture. Mm-hmm. That was the hardest part to figure out. And it was literally like the lights just turned on.
One day. When was that? What do you say?
Huntsville, Alabama, I want to say 23 years ago, 24 years ago, which would be what?
2001-ish?
Yeah. No, 2003.
2003.
When it was like, oh, fuck, just kind of figuring that out. And then, I was 30 years old before I landed a record deal, you know what I mean? So it was a long grind.
Yeah.
Of getting there and figuring that part out too. Like I don't know how typically doctors or surgeons go to school for 10 to 15 years, Mm-hmm. So I went to school in my own right,
Yeah.
for 10 to 15 years, and that 10,000 hour thing is a real thing.
I agree.
Into anything. And, I'm up to 100,000 hours at this point,
When you were going through that 10-year journey, 10-year or so journey, did you know that you were going to be successful? Was it like your focus? You're like, it might not be now, but it's happening?
Man, I didn't give myself a plan B. That was my strategy. And I was literally willing to die for it. And I mean that literally. Mm-hmm. I put myself in the most dangerous situations and just was not going to stop. And there was a certain, ego supersedes your talent in a lot of ways. I'm sure for a lot of people, it did for me. But it's that knowing that you're going to do it and knowing that you are going to win and making these affirmations and, visualizing who you are. And that was a real thing, in 99, I went out to Seattle, took a Greyhound bus to Seattle and slept on the streets and got on a boat, did the deadliest catch shit, like for a whole season. just to make a supposed 20 grand that I was gonna buy my music equipment with, and came home with $1,000. That's a whole nother story. But I came back like really strong mentally after that trip. But yeah, just like putting myself in the absolute gnarliest situations, and I've always thought like, you know, like I run toward the monster. You know, that's my way of dealing with fear, you know, is I got to be face to face with it. I can't turn my back on it, can't run from it, I got to run toward it. And, you know, I just go in, man, to this day, I just, you know, killer instincts, you know, and you know that as a fighter, you know, it's all good till you get in the ring, and then it's fucking, you know, become a monster.
You gotta perform.
Have to. Yeah. You know, it's just part of the ritual of being an artist, man, is like, and that's something that some artists unfortunately will never grasp. And those are the artists that end up going and getting a job.